Hey Charles, how the hell did you know I was on, man? I didn't even do live. Did it? Does YouTube say something? And please let me know if it's too loud. The music, I'll turn it down. Hold on. I don't even know if you're there or how the hell that works. But hold on. Yeah, I just finished watching Eric's Table, the Napoleonic thing. There. Yeah, I don't know how long I'm going to be on, Charles. Even if you can see this yet, maybe I should comment back. I don't know how this works. But yeah, and I'm just wandering around really. I think I can take. Oh, I have to hit the mouse. Oh my God, Charles. Hey, man. I've been messing with my old tablet. Darn bloody slow. Yeah. Well, I guess maybe you're like me. You don't throw out stuff. Please let me know if the volume's driving you up the tree. And if you want to come on live, just so we can chit chat audio wise, so I don't have to drive myself nuts. Um, uh, um, well, I can send the copy link, but I don't know how to send it to you. So if Meandering Mike eventually pops up or something, I can do that, or I can actually pop it in a comment on your thing or something, or whatever in YouTube or whatever. But I don't know what you're up to. Yeah, there was another thing I was saying about later on. I hope to God we can do that. Watch a movie privately. I think that'd be really neat. Um, I've seen it done a ton of times. People have streamed movies or whatever, and that was public. I mean, we'll just do it privately. I think that'd be neat. Yeah, I've got like an old BlackBerry playbook, Charles, that I don't haven't thrown out either, and I'm glad I don't because you never know. But you're right, it's freaking slow, man. It takes a long time to do things, and it's a bummer that I can't do anything. Like I can't really. Uh, I'm actually not even allowed to transfer info files to my Windows thing anymore through it because it thinks it's a security risk. I'm like, oh, for crying out loud. Yeah, other than that, Charles, man, I just finished watching Eric's Table, the Napoleonic wargaming thing. I just, even though I'm not really obviously into their version of Napoleonics, like not at that level, but I just really enjoy listening, obviously, to gamers, and their production value is off the charts to begin with, and it's just neat to hear, you know what I mean, like tactics and whatnot for a different game system in a different period and all that stuff. And then, yeah, I just slapped it on now. I don't know how long I'm going to be on there forever, but we've got, well, as you guys too, we got Labor Day weekend, so I've got Monday off. So I've got kind of like a freebie. That's kind of nice. Yeah, right now I'm just trying to. I'm assigning some of my. Uh, it's just a bloody mess over here. I think I mentioned that before. I'm just trying to uh, get it less of a mess, I guess, if you want to call it that. And so I'm just. I've got Yuri Danilov over here, the Stavka dude, sending info to the Second Army, their Protopopov, to. Some of the forces that he's got in Warsaw are going to be railed over to here. And as you know, with this freaking army, oh my gosh, Charles, on a side note, man, I'm going to actually have one of your games that you picked up recently, that Ted Racer Serbian game. One of the guys that, what's his name there? Grogshed. Um, um, he lives in Ottawa, and we did kind of like I don't know what you would call a gentleman's handshake or something. We haven't, exchanged the games, but I'm going to trade my Decision Games Desert Fox Deluxe for his Serbian Moose Sterbin game there that you picked up a little while ago. So I think that's going to be pretty nice. I don't know whenever it'll happen, but that's that. That's all I'm doing. Man, I got to say this on a side note. I mentioned it before in your comment. I'm going to go back and do my stuff. I'm going to constantly talk because otherwise I don't get anything done. Man, you're spacing on your game, man. Your graveyard setup. Like I just constantly am admiring the table. I'm just like, it's impressive. Hey, Richard. Nice to see you, man. What is the the Ted Racer game? Cool. Good to hear. Yeah, Charles, I just think your spacing on that table. I just constantly, I'm like, I don't know the game system or whatever, but it's super nice to see you, Richard. Yeah, I'm just I slapped on. This is I don't know what the hell you want to call this, but and please don't be offended if I don't chit chat you. Oh, is it? Okay, cool. If I don't go back and look at the comments often, I'm just like one of you people kind of thing, if that makes any sense. I'm just on. That's it. Just sharing, having a time. Mind you, I got go and open one of the windows. It's getting awfully flipping warm in here. Yeah, we're hitting, I don't know where you are, Richard, but we're getting some wicked, just a really bizarre little heat wave. I could feel it today too. There's like some pretty strong southwest winds. I was like, okay, we're getting that wind there from the Gulf of Mexico and all that stuff. Yeah, I better put on, open up a window. Yeah, I don't know how long I'm gonna be on. And like I said, I'm gonna go up, down, go have a pee, do whatever. Call it an open house. I hope you're doing good, Richard, man. Okay, so you're in Michigan, so you're probably going to get the same kind of stuff that we are, like a wicked heat wave, and you probably know too. Lots of people, get some light showers. Yeah. Oh gosh, I wouldn't mind having a little bit of that. You probably know, Richard, that many people don't seem to realize, but you probably do because you're there where you are. There's big chunks of your country that is more north than Canada, and so on and so forth. And always, it's just always this. People always assume that we're this freezing cold spot above you guys. That's not the case. So thanks, Richard. Exactly what I'm doing. I'm doing the same thing as you, then, man. Just doing my thing. Yeah. So I'm just trying to be careful with rail. To be honest with you, it's just I'll go. Just sucks. Oh well, that's the way it goes. God, if I just had one more army, man. This sucks. I don't want to do it, but I'm gonna have to move the freaking little 3D printed building for Radom. I like it, but it's in the way. Oh, Charles, man, I don't know if you know anything about global war. It's that or Richard too. That global war thing. Darn it. From historical wargaming company. It's kind of like Axis and Allies on steroids. Well, it seems to me, anyways. But they haven't done the 1914 one completely right now. They got the rules out and whatnot, and a bazillion 3D printed stuff. So that would be, I wouldn't mind getting some more info on that. What else I've been doing? I've been what Meandering Mike loves to call leveraging, aka stealing from other people's stuff. I've been looking at the old Fatal Attraction, Fatal Alliances rules. I don't know what they're like, if they're similar to Compass, like the Compass one, or what, like how much has changed. But man, Charles, there's so much info on like sub warfare. It just seems like it's abstracted, but there's actual things to do. In other words, if for that turn in this sector or whatever, maybe the subs were more effective than the convoys, and that type of stuff. Oh my gosh! Hey, Telemachus, cool to see you, man. And I liked it. I read it this afternoon. Yeah, Telemachus, I'm just hanging again. Doing whatever, same as you, I hope. So this ain't whatnot. Um, and Yeah, it just looked really neat. It even had a nice little play example and everything, which I thought was totally cool. Yeah, I thought that was quite nice. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get muggy yet, Charles. I hope not. It was pretty dry today, but and it's also getting that close. I don't know, about you guys, but getting that autumn sun look, I think is really nice, kind of neat. So, what are you up to, Telemachus? If you're still there or whatever, I don't know how this world works. Oh shit! I gotta shut the windows. They're fucking idiots. Oops! I swore. On live stream. Oops! I don't think you're supposed to do stuff like that. offensive food. Not feeding you anymore. Sorry. What's happening? Oh, you heard him. Oh, wow. Painting for 6 hours. Holy shoot. Yeah, he's doing the. I think I've mentioned this to you, guys, before. Leo's extremely picky eater, and he's really. This is a test of wills, I guess you want to call it that. But tough. He's been eating this stuff all day long, and I'm like, no, screw you, man. We're not going back to that other thing. Come in. Whoa. What scale are you doing, Telemachus, for that type of stuff? 135. I noticed when I was at the hobby store, is it Italeri? They had just a massive amount of okay, 28 millimeter. I don't know what. I wonder what that is converted to, that modeling or whatever thing. Yeah, I was amazed. 1:56. Okay, cool. Thanks. Holy shoot, that's impressive. I didn't know it was that. Okay, 1:72. I'm trying to think of my 1:72 plastic figures. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Hmm. Man, I'll tell you, I'm doing some crazy. I think Mike mentioned this a long time ago. At that, because I'm focusing on things that don't need to be, or I'm making things more complicated. That the game isn't. I don't need to do it, but I'm getting off on it. And right now, I'm just trying to figure out ways of switching troops around command wise. Some from the second to the fourth, but where they're going to be. There's some troops from the ninth there, so I'm trying to move them over and so on and so forth. And I can't leave too many holes open. And oh, by the way, I think there is a possibility that, um, but I'm not saying it would be effective. Certainly not going to be like World War II stuff, but there is a possibility of getting Zeppelins to bomb the Suez Canal. It's possible. I'm not saying it's going to be effective or whatever, but it's possible. So I'm going to start looking into it. But that wouldn't, I think, to make it plausible for the game historically or whatever. I don't think that would. I wouldn't. It's not going to be something that's going to happen in March of 1915. It probably wouldn't happen until maybe the autumn or something. But yeah, I was reading up on what is it, L-59, the one there, the aborted one that was going to go and help out Leto Vorbeck. I was looking over on the Avalanche Press. I'll show it to you on the camera. This one here from Avalanche Press is part of their Great War series. Sorry, I'm looking at the right thing here. That thing. But Great War. See, I picked it up at Can Games. Anyways, yeah, they have a huge, like a 2-page thing on L-59. So I was like looking at it to figure out if there's a possibility of going to bomb the Suez Canal. And oh yeah, but there's a lot of issues. Like they were talking about having to deal with the massive temperature swings between night and day in those areas, even in Turkey and so on and so forth. So I was like, oh my gosh, a lot of stuff to think about. And that's why I was like, okay, this isn't going to be like a mission that you know I can just go like, okay, snap the fingers and away we go. But the other nice thing I was thinking about starting to like maybe use the Zeppelins down that way is certainly getting them away from all those freaking airplanes that are going to show up pretty soon. All the French planes and whatnot. So, but hey, that's a kind of a nice way of getting away from the action, but it's far. And they were saying that for the L-59 mission to Africa to help out Leto Vorbeck, they had to go to Bulgaria, stop off at Bulgaria, and zip off. And then even by the time they got to Africa, mind you, like that's still a fair distance. He was able to, even with his problems, able to go like all the way from Libya and then back up around the Nile and through Turkey and then back up. So I can't remember how many kilometers, but it was quite a distance. I mean, all the way from Berlin. Remember, like I said, though, they did stop off in Bulgaria, as far as I know. But all these strategic things to think about later on. But gosh, too bad Italy's not part. Oh, Charles, you bastard. But that's because I'm thinking right now of the Central Powers. I mean, like, trust me, I flip over to Entente land and I'm happier in hell that you're not there. But it's neat to start letting French thinking encroach into my head about that stuff. Gosh, Telemachus, I would love to. I don't know if you have or if you're ever like, I'm not on Facebook or any of that stuff, but I would love to see what. And I don't want to look at just some strangers stuff. I'd like to have some kind of connection with somebody that I know. You know what I mean? And it would be neat to see what 28 millimeter World War II troops look like and whatnot, and like how you're basing and that stuff. Especially due to the fact that you said you were painting for 6 hours. Holy shoot! I just went and put a load of laundry downstairs. Otherwise, I got it done now. Okay, I think I can do this, and it's probably going to help everybody out in the long run. Well, obviously not the Second Army because I'm taking troops from them. But such is life. Such is life. Okay, so I'll figure out who's on there, but it's starting to become like a dominoes thing. Oh shit. These are not the troops you are looking for, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know. No. I'm just not going to transfer them twice. Oh, cool, man. For me, Telemachus, it's just I don't know about you guys, and I'm still far away from stripping myself of things. It's just there's so many things nagging at my attention level, or like trying to get me to do things. And it's not saying they're nefarious or whatnot, but everybody knows the psychological techniques and whatnot to try to do whatnot. And it just, yet again, even places I want to go to on my email, it's just like, holy Lord, Lifton, man. But we're just so, I don't know, the way I view my take in this society or our civilization, I just find it very on almost every level, very consumer oriented consumption. And I'm, I'm a hypocrite, a bar none, so don't worry about that. But yeah, just consumption, consumption, consumption of, and I'm not judging it or good or bad. I'm just saying it just seems to be so that way. And yet again about consuming all these freaking emails, and I don't know, it's just like, oh, so yeah, I just try to reduce my clutter footprint, I guess you want to call it. Even though, like I said, I'm a hypocrite because I produce a lot of clutter. uh, Gosh, man, I would so wish. I don't know, Telemachus, if you've seen them. Um, and I don't know if Airfix makes them in different scales, but I saw some 1 to 72. I don't know, I guess maybe at your scale, it would be a bit too much. But I saw some 1 to 72 scale. Um, uh, okay, see you later, Charles, or whatever you're up to. Um, Dioramas, and they had like a bazillion World War II ones, but I was absolutely dumbfounded on how many World War One dioramas or battlefield sets they called them that Airfix has. I so wish to get one. I think probably the one I would really like to get is the Battle of the Somme. This comes with 2 airplanes and the trench works. That must cost a fortune. But I guess I don't know if they reissued some or they made brand new ones or whatever for the 100th commemorative thing there. So I don't know. I'd like to pick. I'd like to pick one up. But I was, like I said, I was really surprised they had more than. Like I thought, you know what I mean? It was going to be like, oh, we'll just do a token gesture thing. Yeah, you're right, man. The reason why I got into, uh, yeah, yeah, no worries, Charles. And like I said, I may vanish for 10 minutes or whatever. So, the same thing. Oh my gosh, guys, man. And remember, I said you can watch it free on YouTube. Of course, I don't know about you guys, but I get YouTube free premium. I bought the 1 year. They give you a reduced, if you subscribe for a year or whatever. So I don't have to deal with commercials. So it was driving me nuts. Especially, I like listening to music, and I'm just like, this is insane. The Red Baron movie, the 2008 one. Wow, is it ever good? And like I said, I was watching it free over YouTube. My gosh, you want to see if you want to start doing some good paint jobs with your Fokker DR1s and whatnot, or anything really, the Albert stuff. Wow. Or Spearhead. I'm sure there are others, not Spearhead. Oh, I've never even heard of that, man. I did. Oh, sorry, World War One. I was thinking, okay. Um, um, darn it, which was the one we looked at one last week on the live stream. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll take a look. It was by Chris Piers. If that rings a bell. But it seemed to be extremely popular, quite popular. There was like videos on it, tutorials, and like 2 pages of forum stuff on BGG. So that was pretty cool. I did Telemachus get to see it, didn't participate in it, but I took a peek. Someone was playing, so I wonder if they were using that rule system. I can actually go and take a look at the program sheet for Can Games. Is that someone was playing a World War One 28 millimeter? I think it was 28 because they did. Yeah, I think so. 28 millimeter mini game. So I thought that was cool. Oh my god! Like I was mentioning about that global war game there from the historical wargaming company, I think it's called, or historical board gaming or what have you. They have, if you want to play the full-on World War One, Global War 1914 scenario, they have it set up that you can also play they call it the Prelude, and you can also do, so that includes the the Balkan Wars and the Italo Turkish War, and there's also an expansion or whatever for the Russian Revolution, which I thought was pretty cool. Or they call it Russian Civil War or something. But yeah, the rules are free. You can go to the website and whatnot. But I was like, wow. And also you can buy, like, I was looking at just the Balkan one. I think it's $30. I was like, that's interesting. So I'm going to take a look at that. Just I'm glad they supply the rules free, and you can also purchase like their 3D printed little dudes. I was thinking of grabbing some for Axis and Allies. They have Zeppelins, man. Wouldn't that be totally cool? Yeah, I'll have to look it up, Telemachus. Thanks for mentioning it, man. The spearhead thing. I would like to try a miniatures World War One game, because I think it'd be neat to get that type of perspective, especially if it's like very tactical stuff and getting into the trench stuff. I think that would be really nice. Certainly not this level. Jeepers jumping. What's the kind of like what's the point really? I mean, you might as well I'm just playing Axis and Allies in the sense. All right, so I'm just transferring a lot of people over to different commands. I think they're not moving anyways. So. Well, the Germans are up next, man. That's not going to be fun. A whole lot of hurt coming. Mm. Go get my little Alberto markers. Hey, Charles, and maybe Telemachus, maybe you know too. There's also a couple older videos on YouTube that show. Oh, cool, man! Thanks. That's gonna make life a hell of a lot easier for me. Meandering Mike there. Mike mentioned that Dan's show got blocked or something because he was using a Disney thing. I guess that just means one of his shows. I'm assuming like it's not forever and ever amen kind of thing. I mean, well, anti-amen. I don't know what that would be. Curses or something or. Oh, for goodness sakes. Just the superstition again. That's the only one big problem I have with these. I'm still trying to get rid of it in my mind is with these Alberto markers. Keep thinking bad things are going to happen if I don't pick the right one. Like either in my life in general or for that unit, or like it all depends on whatever my mental state is at that point. I'm like, God, that's Lord of mercy. Not much I can do about it. I'm telling you, man, these Alberta markers are a freaking godsend. Not having to, yeah, I'm still stacking, but not stacking the way that game wants me to do it. Jesus H. Christ, that was nuts. Oh, pretty as hell. I'll admit that. I was so prefer staring at the official game, official counters. That's for bloody sure. Oh, good. So it's probably just a one-off then. So that's nice. I've removed you, and you're in 72. I'm just going to transfer you to 4th Army. Yeah, me. I'm in a bit of get my table ready for turn 4. Sweet, man. Just let me know, Charles, if you disappear forever. As in, like, I'll say goodnight to you too. Like, I'll do the same kind of thing. Same with you, Telemachus. Just, I'm not saying you have to, but I just would like to say goodnight to you or whatever. That's all. All right. I change you to there. Yeah, I may have some ice cream later again. God, that stuff's good. Strike point ones. Yeah, I was really impressed, man, with the, like I said, I don't know what the new Fatal Alliances rules are like from Compass, but I really, just from what I quickly read, I'll be here till you close out. Oh, thanks, man. Um, uh, yeah, it just seemed neat. Didn't seem complicated. Just seemed like, okay, how many subs are in this zone? And how many convoy ships are here? And you picked, can't remember. Anyways, it was just seemed, it didn't seem complicated. Um, and it affected basically on the outcome and based on the time where it is in the war, like if it's later on or whatever, or if there's unrestricted submarine warfare going on, it affected the possibility of more resource points being detracted from the other side, and or subs were lost. I thought that was what's the big, that didn't seem too complicated to me. And even if I don't want to get down to the darn it, what do you want to call it? Oh my gosh, hey Mike. Yeah, Mike, I'm just on, man. I'll send you the copy link if you want to say hello. But I'm just as Telemachus and Charles know, sometimes I vanish for 5 minutes and go down to the basement and grab some laundry. So I will if you want. It's totally up to you, of course. I'll I'll just send the copy link to you in a minute. I just switching an army over here. Who the hell do I have to switch? Oh, yeah, number 72. Anyways, yeah, the Fatal Alliance's rules for the naval combat is, to me, not saying elegant, but I don't see what the big problem is with everyone getting all into a big fuss about, well, I was just like, this is brilliant. And it seems easy to incorporate into Der Weltkrieg in the Grand Campaign way of things massively. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. 100%. So I feel, I'm not saying extremely confident. Okay, cool, man. Yeah, I'm not going to be on for extremely long, Mike. I just wanted to say hello, really. And vice versa. If anybody wanted to chit chat or what do you call it? Just share the, like we're yet again just in a giant room. Okay, so you're number 4. So anyways, I'm glad to be doing this. As you would say, Mike, I'm leveraging the living dickens out of the Fatal Alliances stuff. I'm really, I don't know what the difference is between the Compass game and the one I have, but it's intriguing as hell. All right, hold on. Where's my mouse? Ouch. Yes, that's exactly what I'll do. Copy the link. And please let me know, Mike, because you seem to be clicking in very quick about whether or not my music is irritating. That's the end of my laundry. My God, that machine, man. They just, like they say, they don't make things like that anymore. There we go. All right, I sent it off to you. And then oh shit! I moved somebody the wrong way, but oh well. Oh yeah, and you've got full-on access. Remember, anyways, Mike. Like you've got, you can do anything you want with my stream here, because I gave you admin privileges. What a goddamn mess, man. What a goddamn mess. Oh, man. Charles, your game on the side note is just dry. Oh, there you are. And then I'll get rid of my thing. Hold on. How do I do that?
Boop, boop, boop.
There we go. Hi.
Howdy.
Man, those guys so what's up with the Eric's table? I'm assuming this is from what I'm getting is they're only posting when they've got their act together. Does that make sense for these types of tutorials?
Oh,
it's well polished and really.
Like, yeah, it sounds like
they've rehearsed.
they're planning out, yeah, maybe even rehearse a session or something, or
It's impressive. It is. All I gotta say, the only thing I'm pissed off about, Mike, and is I keep looking at. I'm like, damn you to hell! I wish you guys were into World War One, because if you guys were doing this with World War One, oh my god. Well, I trust me, they'd be. Eric would be getting coffee for life.
well, I
Wow.
think what they have to offer is something that's not as needed for World War One. I think this level of
Oh,
Napoleonic tactics, there's a number of people who have read about Napoleon, understand a fair amount of the history, have gamed a fair bit, but at scales where it doesn't, you can sort of learn the text of the game through the game. Whereas in this, there's a lot of people that suddenly try to play at the scale and suddenly like, well, they form these big long lines and they do these things and then it's like, oh, I tried to charge and why didn't my guy, I got repelled, I got crushed trying to do a shock attack with my infantry. And it's like, because it doesn't work that way unless you really understand the tactics. And you might have to sit there for hours shooting back and forth to whittle down the guy before you go in with your melee shock attack. Just think of how hard that is to figure out on your own when you're used to reading higher level, accounts of battles and the operations, the campaigns, but you don't normally learn the tactics. And then you get to this game that's simulated at this level, and suddenly it's like, I'm not getting results that sound historical, and you don't know why. And what they have is like, it's so valuable to say, oh, okay,
wow.
this,
I just find it valuable for, as you know, I'm probably never going to play any of the games, but just an understanding of why things are that way or whatever. I'm just like, yeah, it's just good all around. And my God, and you could, well, you were there, so I mean, just the way they're talking about how the game or the battle unfolded, I was like, this is impressive. What are you up to, man?
Well, I just woke up from a nap.
Yeah.
I finished painting my cliffs.
Oh, cool.
Which had a lot more steps to them. for just simple terrain, I put a lot more effort into things than some people would. As the things that I did, I don't know if you saw my video that I posted for Warmut.
I'm a smart puppy. How can I make you the bigger one? That way I can see the thing bigger.
Somewhere in there, there's
oh, I know. I remove me.
Well, you don't have to remove yourself, but there's a way to just shrink you down. Where is that in the settings or something? I don't remember. Virtual background. I don't know. Anyway, so I did the priming. I primed these all the same base way where I used, there's 6 pieces here. Oh, still there? Did I just break anything? So I primed them with a light gray primer, and I did the zenithal highlightings. There's one of those options in there, I'm sure like you can make yourself tiny, and then I end up taking up like
that's why
4/5.
Nope.
And then so it had the light gray, and then I did either white, this skeleton bone, or the barbarian flesh zenithal highlight. So yeah, you had been asking in that one about like, oh, there's really that many different kind of primers, and they have really dozens of the different colored primers. And so when I ended up then applying, I used 6 different colors of speed paints.
Holy shoot.
On each one of these, I blended 2 different colors of speed paints. Like this one is Runic Gray and Gravelord Gray, and some of these were. This was like I think Crusader
That I
Skin,
like. That one I
and
like. The
there
brown
was bits of this one. I did sort of more of a striped
Yeah, it
serrations,
kinda yeah,
alternating
it's got
different
that,
colors.
almost, you know what I mean? What would you call it? Like, you know, where you get that weird rainfall effect where it deposits minerals in certain streaks?
Well, actually, two of these, I think it was this one and this one, I used streaking,
Oh, cool.
streaking grime. This turned out to be it's not water based. It's like an enamel.
Holy
Just
shit.
cleaned up. I had to open up the window and everything, but it's normally designed to put like on the flat plastic surfaces where you see like the dirty water might run down and you could make streaks. But I did that on the rock and it like was like an erosion effect where the water might have run down. So I did two of those of
Nice.
this. So between having six different um, speed paint colors where I used two on each of these, so there's
God,
different
I
levels
like that one. Oh, boy.
of lightness of browns and grays, pure. So this is like more like a granite. So some sandstone, limestone, granite, whatever. And so there's the the painting, the priming scheme, then the different colors for the speed paints, and then a couple of these I went and I like this one I did. What was the color? Ash gray dry brush highlighting. And there's another one I did a little bit of that, but not as much. I can't remember. It might have been
These are
this.
resin?
Yeah, these are very, very light. I'm assuming they're hollow. They're so light. But it doesn't sound hollow really. But they were Ender Toys through as on Amazon. Ender Toys is the name of the 3D thing. It's the same when I bought the mausoleum and the other stuff because of Charles doing his graveyard. Hey, I want something like that. I don't have any walls or anything like that, but I wanted to.
Yep. I was assuming you're going to probably accentuate the cliffs and whatnot, like little bits of lichen and.
Well, I haven't done any.
Not
I haven't
all of them.
done any. I didn't put on any of the like the powders, the texture powders. I decided for these not to try that. But that skeleton bone had a slight green look to it. That was the highlights from the primer that had slight green, and the barbarian flesh, it was a slight, pinkish almost. And so I sort of was. You can't really tell anymore. Once I started applying the speed paint, you couldn't really tell after the fact. So there wasn't like enough contrast between the gray underneath and those colors, and then with the speed paint to really tell. So I don't know, but
are you gonna add bits though, like flocking or anything, or?
I may at the very bottom of these do something with a little bit of rubble or gravel kind of terrain, and maybe put some I mean they don't have normal bases, they just stand up fine by themselves. So I really don't want to make wide oval or rectangular bases since these stand by themselves so well, but to have just
it gives you
a little hint of grass or something at the bottom, maybe, but I don't want to overdo it.
What about in the middle bits, like little crevices?
Well,
no, I'm just curious.
All of these that have.
I guess it also depends on what scale you're doing too.
I mean, you could try to figure out like something hanging out there that like, oh, that's some kind of a root or something, or some little bit of plant life that just hanging on in the middle of the cliff or something like that.
Opportunistic tentacle that'll wrap around your neck.
but in general, probably not. This is probably not. So between so there was the the dry brush. Let's see. Here's the different colors that I use. I use 4 different um, paints after the priming. After the priming, the speed paints, then highlighting or some localized depth. So there's ash gray for high brushing. On just, I think one of them I use is adamantium, which was I think it was this one, and it's kind of like almost metallic. So the dark recesses here have a little different quality to them.
Ooh, that'd be neat for
just Stonewash, which was a gray ink, and then Cairnstone, which is actually pretty light, and so I mixed some ash gray in with it to do some highlights on one. And then after all that, when that was finally dried again, I did my final ink washes. And what I did for all of these, on one side I used soft tone, which was intended to be the side in sunlight, and then strong stone, the side in shadow. And so depending on, say, the time of day, I could use, one side towards the camera or the other. One's going to be a little lighter, one's going to. Now some of these, like it's still pretty light, the whole overall thing, but some you can slightly notice one side being darker, one side being lighter, and that just gives me more options that way. Basically just have and have, and then depending on the piece, on the very top edge, did I do a little more lighter tone or the darker tone?
Maximize real estate.
So that took way longer than I thought it was going to, because I was working on it.
I like I said before yesterday, I thought there was only 3 primers in the world. And I was like, what? That knocked me for 3 bells. Okay, I got to go downstairs to grab my laundry out of the washer because my washing machine doesn't drain properly completely. I still always get this like little residue, so I have to stick a fan on it and get rid of that mildew smell.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I was saying to Charles and Telemachus there, tomorrow and Monday, I think we're in a heat warning. We're getting like 30. So that's streaking stuff that you were saying got you a bit high.
It was cool, but I had to open a window and all that and turn fans on to sort of blow the stuff away. So I haven't experienced. I've bought a fair number of different things.
Oh gosh, Mike, and there's another thing, man. I can't do it here, but I have to figure there's some way of doing it. I guess I could have. We'll do it when we have more time together. I'm going to practice for sure against like a piece of paper or something. But if you think I'm going to just start airbrushing, like airbrush priming right off the bat, you're out of your flipping tree. I've read the instructions, and when I start putting the airbrush contraption in my hand, I was like, no. They're not hitting the button and watching stuff squirting out.
Yeah, just start like on a piece of paper. Just take a ream of paper and just test. Okay, how far? How close?
Yeah. So I was thinking even I don't know, but you guys, you grab a figured bottle, drip some. Yeah, Charles, I've got to get better at priming, man. So what's that one?
Cursed soil.
Cursed soil.
I have a number of different soil powders that you apply on dry, or you can mix it to apply wet, or you can put on and then put like a fixer or something. But this is actually I suspect this is another enamel. I haven't opened it yet.
Oh my God, Mike! Thank you for mentioning the cursed soil. And I have it. I've written it down here in the book. I was at the hobby store. Hold on. You probably go, yeah, I've heard of this company. Oh my God! I saw a 1 to 400 scale or 1 to 500 scale Coliseum there. It looked pretty sweet.
Huh.
Now, where is this?
This is just a dark wash here. So I have no
So
idea
that
how.
again is enamel.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this one actually says enamel.
Holy shit!
Um, so I don't know how it's going to compare to the other ink washes
Have
that
you
are
have you
water
painted
soluble,
much with? Because remember, my majority of my painting is deco art, craft paint. Have
light
you
rice
much
wash
experience
enamel.
with that crappy paint? The paint.
So way back when I did a few models, like when I was anywhere between 12 and 14, maybe.
Which I am now.
I had some of the little testers, glass bottles with enamel, and I didn't like a couple of the models I put together, and I never painted them, and I only maybe painted one, but I did use. Okay, you know those doors that have the sections that are like they're indented. They have like a panel, so it's like
Yeah.
decorative. So it's a wood door, but there's this like panel with like molding in the door. I went and I painted the trim interior to those on my door on one panel, and it was too much work, and I never did any more
Yeah.
painting. That was something as a kid we would see these books about decorate your room and do this stuff and cool things that you can do. And my parents actually said, okay, whatever, go ahead. It's your bedroom. And that was it. I did, there's like three
Not
panels in the
enough.
door, and I just did that molding on one of them
Okay.
with a purple.
So do you know
Purple.
this company? They it's Master Box Limited. They're a model company,
Never
and
heard of
I
them.
lost my marbles because they do a bunch of theme stuff. And one of them was Ancient Greek Myth series.
Ooh.
I know. I went, oh my God, I got to tell Mike about this. Then they also had other series stuff, such as deep, dark, horrible, like Game of Thrones type stuff and whatnot. But
Master Box.
Master Box Limited.
Huh.
So yeah, I went. Oh my God, I got to make sure I mention it to you. Like I don't. Oh my, as well as I did see the Ray Harryhausen Cyclops model there. I was like, woo!
Master Box Limited.
Limited. I don't know it. All I know is I saw that and some other series that they had kicking around, but I didn't.
Ukraine, another one of those Ukrainian model companies.
Hey, man, that's how they support the doing what they're up to. All the models to them.
Really nice.
Yeah, I don't know anything. I can't remember the person they had. It wasn't Medusa. It was I don't
The
know.
Mohicans. Wow.
Sorceress or something. Or oh yes, I think it was one of the one from Odysseus, I think, or something.
One 24, 136, 135, 172 scale.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
you know what I'd really like to get is like it'd probably be a bigger scale, and that's fine. I'd like to get things such as like an ambulance truck model, like just boring stuff. I know it may sound whatever, but I'd like to get into that type of just every regular everyday type of stuff. Oh yeah, Mike, I forgot to mention that's what when I got sidetracked during the live stream, and I was saying that I associate you with India and the Bengal Lancers and whatnot. It was, remember I was mentioning last Saturday about that weird thing in the chronology, and I was like, what the hell are they talking about, this weird regiment? It was because there was an uprising in India in 1915, and it was put down by the Booner Walls, again defeated at the Meandering Pass, northwest India. So and I can't remember who the heck stopped them, but attack reported on British and Russian consuls in no. Yeah, Rustam. That's it. The Rustam column again drives back the Booner Walls. That was it. At least now I know what they are, because I was wondering where the hell is this? Who the hell is this? What's going on? Where is it? So now I know it's got nothing to do with the war directly.
So the
That
Master Box limited the 172 scale vehicles. They're all World War One tanks, armored cars.
okay. I had no clue that they even did any.
Yeah, if you
Jeez.
look under the catalog part, they have 2 scales of vehicles and 3
Yeah.
scales of figures.
Hey, do you know what I thought was interesting? I'd like to find out why and see if there's other stores that do it. So the World War One Mark One female tank is way more expensive than the male tank at the hobby store. Was significantly more expensive. I was like, whoa. Aha. Guess who's eating his food finally? Because he's starving. Little brat. I'm sorry, Puss. I'll get rid of it later. I just need you to eat some more of that rather than constantly thinking you're going to get that garbage. Oh my God, Mike, he's been a fantastic little. Well, he's basically like acting like a dog in the backyard. I call him in and I just go Puss, and he'll like look, and I'll let him go, and he goes and chases the rats, or he stays like this, frozen for ages, knowing full well. I'm like, you're just a beautiful thing. I love you to bits. So yeah, good on him, man.
So where did you see that mythology kit for?
I saw it at the hobby store, and then they don't have it listed in their company.
No, I can't find it. I don't see it anywhere here. I wonder if it's something that's just out of print and they're not
Oh no.
doing it anymore. So it might be findable, but not on their site.
Okay. And I sew it. I wonder if I can. I wonder if they would let me do it. That hobby store that Rob brings me to. That's basically just a warehouse. And it, like I said, the models. Some of those are so old, it's ridiculous. But I'm wondering if they would let me bring the camcorder in just for a quickie to kind of show it. But I would like to talk to them as well. And I'll go over all their figures and stuff. I like the way they've set it up. Like here's the tank section. Here's the airplane section, and so on and so forth. It's nice.
So speaking of Greek mythology, and I can't remember, there was something I saw, I think it was last night, that there's a game that's going to be coming out that's an existing game system, but they're doing one for mythological monsters. Oh, now I remember what it is. It's a game called Horrified. There's original Horrified that had horror monsters, and they did American movie monsters. And so they're coming out with one. So my current interest in, what kind of different monsters of Greek mythology should I put in my game? It's not coming out until like October.
Oh.
And so it's like, come on, come out sooner.
Show me. Yeah.
Let's see here. Do they have it on?
I wonder if there's like a side forum where people are talking about. Oh yeah. Okay. My laundry.
Yep. Horrified Greek monsters. So I'll put. Let's see. I can put it in the private chat section.
And then what happens there?
And then you could
you
can share that if you want to.
No, where's the private chat?
So in the StreamYard, where you can see comments, private chat.
I see it. Okay. I'm going to copy it.
Navigate there.
And then I put it in comments. Is that all I do?
Yeah, or you can navigate there and share that if you want to.
Oh, okay. Which I will.
But evidently it's got minis for it. So it looks like 5-6 different minis. And so we can see Medusa, the version that's half serpent body and with the bow. They've got, I'm not sure if we're going to call that a cockatrice or basilisk, one of the, I think that looks like half chicken, half lizard. Do they have the names of these here? Yep, Basilisk, a Siren, Chimera, Minotaur, and Cerberus or Kerberos, depending on which way you want to pronounce that.
Yeah, let's see if I can show so we can both see it. Do you see that?
Yep.
Now, are you allowed to? No, you're not. Now, where do you want me to go? Anywhere? It doesn't really matter.
Let's see. Well, if you go into the images, yeah, you can see there any of those
holy
showing
shit!
the
That's so cool.
And the one that has the I think it was the back of the box. There was a picture in there somewhere that shows the back of the box that talks about the names of the monsters, the 6 mythic monsters, the board, and all that stuff.
This guy here.
Yeah, that one. So
the 6 mythic monsters.
That looks pretty cool. So that's supposed to, I think, come out in October, early October, or something like that. Somewhere I saw like pre-orders or something.
I guess you're going up against the monsters. It looks like, because you got those cardboard cutout people. Would you agree?
I don't know. I have
of Elysium before terror overwhelms you.
I have a game in this series, one of the other ones, but I haven't looked at it yet. So I don't know if you could play the monsters or you're just trying to stop the monsters.
And what's the one on the very right?
It'd be nice if you could do both. The far right, that I'm assuming is the Siren.
Okay. Oh yes, okay.
She looks too nice to be a harpy, right?
Okay. Yeah, I get you. What's that 3? That's the Cerberus.
Cerberus or Kerberos, depending on. Some people do the soft, some do the hard. He's the dog that is there in the underworld.
Yeah, what's the purple dude?
See, that's a manticore. It's
that's the one you're talking about. Yeah,
there's different versions of what a manticore is, and
I've never seen that version before. Holy shit!
Yeah, in some words, it's the lion head.
Yeah, that's all I've ever seen.
Scorpion tail. That's the standard Dungeons and Dragons one.
Yeah.
But actually, no. This is the Chimera. So
it is pretty sweet looking.
What?
Let me go down. Yeah, I'm just going down to grab my laundry.
Yeah, this looks like a pretty standard rendition of a Chimera. Even though some make instead of having a snake or serpent's tail coming off the head coming off the tail, some put like a dragon head up front.
All right. Oh, finally. Now Leo can hang out with he'll lie on the laundry. Oh my God, he just reeks of sardines, man. I'm going to stop this so I can look at you. There we go. Back to normal. What the hell is Charles saying? Yeah, I don't know if you know, Mike, but I mentioned it to Charles and Telemachus. I did a gentleman's agreement. I think I may have mentioned it to you. I did a gentleman's agreement with the Grog Shed, and he lives in Ottawa. So I'm going to trade my Decision Games, the newer version of Desert Fox Deluxe, for his Serbian Ted Racer game, the Twilight in the East manifestation thing, the GMT one. So we're going to trade. So, which makes sense. I'm like, what are the odds, Mike, of me ever playing that game? Pretty slim. So, and what are the odds of me playing the other one? Probably not very high either, but I'll certainly go through the rule book and eat it up. So I'm glad about that. Yeah, I'm really enjoying reading this. I don't feel bad about starting Derville Creek and finding other game systems and going, oh no, look at all these other goodies that are out there. I'm just like you said, I'm just going to leverage the living hell out of it and the other ones and incorporate. And that old Fatal Alliances thing, I'm just loving. I can't wait to take a look at their initiative system. It seems interesting as well.
So for some reason, Master Box, I'm not finding.
So you know about this, Charles?
On eBay.
Well, I'll be, man. Yeah, Charles, I'm serious. I don't like whatever. We definitely are gonna have to do a freaking movie. I so want to sit. Like I said, I've got a lot of time off coming up, and it would just be so much fun to just sit back and watch a movie. And yeah, that's it. We'll just be tiny little whatevers, or we don't even have to look at each other. It's just the audio. We'll just have it on full on, and then just go, "Holy cow, that was cool."
Here's some Master Box.
I don't like talking much during movies or whatever. Mind you, if it's just I'm just just gonna be enjoy hanging out.
Okay, now I'm finding some Master Box stuff on eBay.
Oh,
first
cool.
Searching it was too many different things are coming up, but now mostly World War II oriented.
Oh my gosh! By the way, guys, if you do ever see or a bead or a lead on those World War I Airfix battle set dioramas or whatever the heck they're called, please let me know. If I see one, I mean, come on. Good God. Yeah, I wish I could bring my stuff down. Oh, darn, Charles, I'm going to have to, I'll do it next time when we do one of these funky things. So that way I can paint while, like I want to finish up the Charles Retora mini and then be able to send it off to you. Oh, boy, Charles. Do you want to, remember I showed you those playing cards of that I picked up the World War I playing cards? They have a bazillion other themes. I'm so glad I talked to the lady yesterday because I was like, "Oh my God, these are so cool," and she's like, "Yeah, that lady wanted that one," and I accidentally picked up fancy cars or something. I was like, "No," but I'll show you what I did pick up. Oh, coincidentally,
So,
what, you're finding stuff?
I'm finding some of their monster kits. They've got Beastorian. They've got a Berg Troll.
Maybe that's what I was talking about, that other theme thing.
But they're 1 in 24, 1/24 scale. So that means
it's huge.
That, well, that's like a 3-inch figure for something that's 6 feet tall, right? Because a 172 is basically 1 inch tall for a 6-inch man. And so this is a third scale. So you'd be 3 inches tall for 6 feet, right?
Hey.
So it's not huge at all.
Okay.
Is my calculation right?
Well, okay. So I know that 1 to 16, you may be right, Mike, because I'm looking at a 1 to 16 scale plane, an airplane that I saw at the hobby store hanging up, and they're like this big. So you're 1 to 24, dude.
for a 6-foot person, your plane's, pretty big, right?
Exactly. So you're right. I think, oh my gosh, you're sadly right. Damn you to hell. But it makes sense with the sliding terrain thing for the trenches. When I looked at the logic afterwards, that when he says the -3 terrain modifier in 1915, you can use it like a trench kind of thing because he started cluing in on how to use defensive stuff. Then in 1916, it's -2, but there's nothing for -1 at 1917. And the way I'm looking at it, if he wanted to continue with that sliding scale he would have done it. Does that kind of make in a weird? I'm
Probably
that way. And it also, I think, goes more in. It's more conducive with his terrain side combat thing, and you don't have to worry about across the river and getting into this. I don't know, but it's too bad because I was looking at these wrinkles, going, "Oh my God, I can now start putting people behind a river in broken terrain and cause a lot of grief for the Germans come 1915."
I mean, it's still a great modifier, right? If they're getting a -3, like streams and
I get you. Yeah, right.
broken, right? It's -3 and a +1 in the counterattack. I mean, obviously, woods at a river is even worse because then you're getting a counterattack bonus for both the stream. It's additive, right? So that's what -3 and +2 on the counterattacking side. So it's huge, right? It's a huge barrier potentially, but you still might have to retreat, right? So that effect is like, yeah, should it become much more static? It's still going to be bloody, but at a certain point, should that shift this needed number of losses? I just think the trench effect is like a huge jump, right?
Oh my God! And the Hindenburg line,
going from half to basically everything. You have to generate enough, and it's like, wow.
as well as think about this, Mike. Start incorporating shaken national morale, reduce supply. It gets to the point where there's not going to be much going on anymore. Yeah, going to be.
Or there's a lot going on because of the cold calculation. Like, we can grind them down. We're going to lose a lot, but we've got the advantage, right? We think we can make them break first, and we're going to throw
kind of in a weirdo way, like you were saying, or like you're saying in a weirdo way. What they were talking about in Eric's thing, saying, "Well, the Russians look pretty good at the beginning, but you just bleed them dry. They hurt you. You hurt them to you whittle them down." And I was like, "Oh, yeah."
Cold calculation war.
Yet again, on another flip thing, and I'm going to bring it up. Harold Bosma chit chatted with me, and I said, "Oh, great! That I'm glad I held off not talking about Paths to Glory until he's on the live stream." Is Paths to Glory one of those games, Mike, that is actually really good, or is it living off on hype in a sense that people are kind of like, in other words, if you say, "I don't like Paths of Glory," or "I don't think it," people look at you like, you don't know wargaming.
Let's address it this way. Okay. This game has been on my radar since I got back into board gaming and wargaming, which I started getting back into games in 2017, and I really accelerated in 2019 and accelerated even more once the pandemic started. But Paths of Glory has always been, like, for the past years. It came out in 2018, and it's been like in the top 10 on the BGG wargame list. Ever since I saw it, it was somewhere in the top 10. It's now sitting at number 3, only surpassed by Twilight Struggle and War of the Rings Second Edition. So it definitely has a very wide range appeal. And I think Let's see if we look at the sales price
Now you
history.
do that. I'm going to run upstairs and grab the cards I want to show Charles, but I won't be long. I'm back.
So there's, a pretty steady stream of sales on BGG for the game. So, it's people have bought it, retail when it's still available. They bought it off Amazon. They're exchanging it on BGG. So I think it has a definite enough widespread appeal and enough people, that have done videos on it. And, it's I think it's one of those games. So I don't know if you watched the War Room today, where they were talking about 10 games that you would recommend that you think everyone should play.
Okay.
And I think I'm surprised a lot more people didn't include Paths of Glory. I didn't, because I was just doing all my nostalgic favorites from the 70s and the 80s and making up little story excuses of why I think this is a game that everyone should play. But
Yeah,
I would
Charles,
say
I steer away from it because of the card thing.
Some people like Charles does not like cards in his games, right? But there are games, and he prefers hex and counter. It's a point-to-point system, but so even if you don't swing that way, you don't like point-to-point with cards, it still might be worth giving it a try, right? So
that's what I'm thinking.
I know Charles has bounced off some other games as it's not worth his time. If he really wants to do an interesting World War One game, that one might be this time, but maybe not, right? Again, some people just like, nope, I'm not going to do it.
Oh, guys, by the way, I didn't know this. Maybe you guys do. One thing that was freaking me out when I did the comparison thing of the wings, and I was like, maybe there's something, like it said it's 1:72 scale, but they're full of shit. Like one of the companies is full of shit, either Academy that did the Sopwith Camel or Revell. And I was watching a video today, and they said that one of the good things about a triplane is they were able to shrink the wings. So that was one of the reasons it created a smaller profile and it allowed the pilot to be able to see further. So they didn't have the wings in the way and a bit more maneuverable. So I was like, okay, so they're not, because I was kind of worried that one of the manufacturers was pulling a funky one on me. But
so in many different types of miniatures, there are definitely times when scales are not true, and it could be up or down. Sometimes there's that scale creep where we want to give you a bigger miniature, so even though we're saying it's this scale, we're actually going to make it a little bigger so ours look cooler and better compared to our competitors. And then others might go the other direction, like, well, we want to save money, we're going to make a smaller boat or plane, we're going to call it this scale, but it's really not quite that size, but we're going to save money. So it's just, you just gotta, if it's close enough for your purposes, it's close enough. And it's not,
I guess I can compare wheel sizes. Maybe that's one way of
if you've got a number of models from different manufacturers and you want to use them together and you really want them to be the appropriate relative scale, then you may have to be picky. But other times it's like, whatever.
Yeah, well, as you know, I'm just
Charles, which point-to-point game that you have kept and haven't got rid of, and
no, the only thing for me was I just was because for the Paths of Glory thing, I just was like, I point-to-point doesn't bother me whatsoever, but I was like, I don't want a completely card-driven system. It's just not the way.
Well,
maybe you have to get used to it, maybe, but I would certainly play it. That's for bloody sure. Blood on the Ohio. What the hell's that about?
That's American Indian.
Okay. when
thingy.
you guys did your push after the War of 1812.
On the Ohio. Washington's Indian War, 1789 to 1794.
Yeah. Now that you're bringing me up another one, that's another. I can't wait to try that someday. I watched the whole. I think I mentioned it to you. The Steve Dolge's End of Empire thing. That is one of those games I certainly would like to try to play someday.
Yeah, that is point to point. It is counters. There's no meeples or blocks or things like that. So at least it's counters.
Have you guys played? You probably have it though, Mike, because you said you have all the Hollandspiele games. The supply ones.
Yeah, I
The
do.
American Revolution. I've only got the print and play, but my gosh, that seems like a really cool game. Regardless, even if I'm not into, which I am a bit, American Revolution stuff. I just want to learn that type of mechanism and the thinking behind, because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a good.
Really nice about Hollandspiele that a lot of their designs, whether it's from Amabel or the kind of designers that she likes to pull in to submit designs for the novel approaches to thing, or looking at aspects that just haven't been gamed much. And so that's, I think a lot of cool learning experiences to be had in so many of these.
Oh, damn you to help! You got to remember to get the knitting one there, because I want to do it with
Violet.
Yeah. Darn it! So I was mentioning, yes, I so want to do that one because her and I will just have a blast.
That would be, that'd be great, game to suck people in with.
I don't know about you, but like a good cottage game. They were mentioning constantly that they're always looking for games, travel games, like to bring around that's not going to be a pain in the butt. Really? Yeah. Oh, you're right, Charles. I've got the
that Norway and the British Commandos, the Telemark one, isn't that a point to point?
I don't have that one, but I know what you mean. I've got the campaigns of Montrose, which I really enjoyed. I would love to play that with 2 players. Love to play that one. And I've got the Vikings one. I have not played that one yet.
Yep, looking here.
And Leto Vorbeck's a point to point.
Yeah, Heroes of Telemark, that's point to point.
Leto Vorbeck. And aren't there a ton of White Dog games are point to point?
Well, the thing is, many of the White Dog games are States of Siege designs, and States of Siege designs from the beginning have always been point to point. You have multiple lanes coming in and a point to point.
I've got one of their. I've got the Confederate something or other. It's a solo game, I think.
Like Jeff Davis's War or something like that.
No, hold on. It's the other one. I think Jeff Hansen. Wayne Hansen mentioned his show. Mentioned it on his show way back when. His Friday afternoon show.
White Dog has so many games; it's hard to just browse through and find what you want.
The Confederate War. Try that one. Hey, Hex to Hex. Super nice.
Confederate Rebellion.
That's it. Boom.
Yeah, 2014 Confederate Rebellion.
That's a point to point.
Dave Chris. Oh, Steve Kling. So is that the same Stephen Kling Jr. that does the?
Oh, thanks, Charles, man. I've heard good things about Rogers Rangers. That's also American. Isn't that American Revolution one? Rogers Rangers.
Yes.
Or is it War of 1812? Probably American Revolution, right? Correct.
Rogers Rangers.
What you up to, Hex?
America's First Commandos. It's actually French and Indian War.
Oh, cool.
1754, 1763.
Way cool.
Pre-American Revolution.
Man, back in the day, eh? Oh my gosh, that was the other thing for that Charles I was telling you about, and Telemachus when he was on, um, about the global war thing there from the historical wargaming company. They another prelude they do is, so it's not just the Italo-Turkish War,
Hey,
uh,
Jeffy.
the Italo-Turkish War, the Balkan Wars. They're also doing the Spanish-American War, or when the hell was that? Flipping War in the Pacific. Is that a big game? Probably not, since it's SPI, I'm assuming.
Which one?
He's doing War in the Pacific, SPI, War in the
If
Pacific.
he's talking, yeah, that's the big, huge
Okay, so it is big. Okay.
Pacific treatment. It came out after their war in Europe, and they're not compatible together, but people have tried.
Just to see it. Oh, I,
3,200 counters. I think it's is it 5 or 7 maps, Jeff? I can't remember for war in whereas war in Europe is 9 maps. That's insane. 9 22 by 34 maps.
I was trying to think of the SPI quads. They didn't do a World War One counter. So I'm reading Hex's thing. They never did. Did they do a World War One quad SPI?
Quad, yeah, they did Great War in the East, and there's actually 5 games because Tannenberg came out in S&T magazine in Strategy and Tactics. It was the same system, and it was actually, the most popular of that series. But yeah, 7 maps for War in the Pacific.
Whoa.
I just looked that up.
You know what blows me away? I'm going to take a look. Well, maybe I shouldn't. There is a lot of Fatal Alliances Compass game videos on YouTube, but they're all freaking Vassal. Not to be rude or anything, I just don't get. I'm just not into watching. And like I said, I'm not bashing it, man. It is an amazing tool. It is fantastic. It blows me away what it can do.
Nothing wrong having a preference for.
I just
not preferring Vassal, because I don't prefer Vassal either.
I just not into watching that. I want to see. Right. Why do you think? Okay, sorry, Hexy. Why do you think I get off so much on your overhead shots? And you could say nothing for an hour and just wander around, and I'm like, it is so visceral. It's just so in my face. I love that. I don't want to see a freaking hovering mouse. Except I don't mind doing it occasionally with my little videos there for the strategic stuff to kind of go over. But yeah, I want to see the real deal. So it pissed me off today. I was like, I wanted to go and take a look at some of to see how Fatal Alliances is in real play, and even Steve Dolges. I love. I'll
be back.
Yeah. Same thing. Yeah, I love watching Steve Dolges' stuff, but I was like, nah, I can't. I'm not into the Vassal, man. Just can't do it. Which just sucks because, like I said, I just, oh, there you are, man. Oh, cool, man. Yeah, I'm looking at the numbers up there, and I just never know what the hell is going on or who the hell's on here. All right. So anyways, what the hell am I going to do? Okay, let me unfold some laundry before it starts going funky on me here. It's just right here, but I'll do that. Yeah, and then later on, I guess, to maybe crash and burn, I'll yeah, I mean, really getting into that Forgotten Aviation YouTube channel. Guys, got some really good stuff. He seems to have stopped, though, which kind of sucks, because he was like, oh, I'll be talking about the DH2 and so on and so forth, and he never got around to it. And he's also going to talk about the DH4, I think, and he didn't do that either. kind of like, I don't know if you guys have seen it. I'm never going to play the game system, but there's a guy. Darn it, Monster in My Basement, I think, is the YouTube channel, and he was doing a super duper tutorial on the decision games monster game thing. Darn it, I can't remember the name of it. Grand Tactical something or other.
Grand Tactical System, GTS.
And he was doing a tutorial on the North Atlantic Wall, or whatever that thing is, the big giant one that they have. And his tutorials are stunning, but then he just all of a sudden stopped, which sucks. Yeah, that's it. That's it. But holy moly, you want to see someone who knows how to do a good production value. Oh my gosh. Still, I'm sorry, Mike, but I do, like you said, that World War I or whatever doesn't need, or Der Weltkrieg or whatever, doesn't need that type of detail the way Eric's table Napoleonic wargaming is. It would still be fun to watch.
It needs a different kind of detail. The kind of mechanics and the kind of thing.
I know, but I would still get off on it. I can tell you that much. If somebody wanted to do a bloody, why am I going to? Well, I actually do need my reading glasses still to go towards because I'm not putting you on the. Yeah, I like
the more reddish brown color, and then the whitish highlights on the top. They're
just really nice looking dudes.
I like these models, and there were three pieces. This one was either 4 or 5.
And that was the only one that was in. I was quite surprised when you were mentioning what parts needed to be glued. Like you were saying, this is all one.
Yeah, thing. The headdress and the head
each
were 2 separate pieces that then had to be glued to the neck. And it wasn't an easy. It didn't fit naturally. It didn't like snap together either or anything. So I was like, nah. So that's kind of a pain in the butt.
You won't be doing any more those dogs or whatever.
For 10 pieces, not counting the base, it just that wasn't worth the effort. So I'm glad to have 3 of them, but that's not.
Well, now you know how I feel about the Fokker DR1, man. I was just like, I'm so glad to never. That's why I can't wait to do the other guy.
So,
yeah, I like those.
They're like, here's
what a diff,
straight like wooden board with, I assume these are supposed to be like obsidian or jade shards that have been inset.
Yeah, like the Aztecs.
But this one is curved, so that's kind of cool. It's got a little tassel on the end of it. I wouldn't mind buying another set of these to have more if I really want to have a lot of Serpent Men. Those weren't that hard to do, so that would be okay.
Cool.
But more Temple Hounds at 10 pieces each. Screw that. Excuse my French. But
no, that's why I'm excited to try the DR1 eventually.
Oh, that's right. Hexy's right. Goss is the decision games scale. The GTS is MMP.
So that guy is just incredible. Monster in My Basement. Oh my gosh, really amazing stuff.
Huh. I have not heard of that channel, I don't think. Sometimes I think I haven't heard of a channel. I go to it and found out I've already subscribed.
Okay.
But it's like I haven't been getting notifications or never turned them on or something. But Monster in My Basement, huh?
Yeah. You will, when you see the production value of his videos for the tutorials. When I watched his first one, I just thought to myself, this human being should be doing tutorials about every aspect of how to live. He spends like 3 minutes on how to even show you basically how to move the mouse pointer at the Decision website to get this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, this guy's incredible. Like, it's almost like you would grab a Neanderthal and say, here, this guy will show you how to play Goss. And, but he stops after, well, I mean, my God, you see that he's got a life. Just jaw-dropping. Yeah, no.
So there's a band or a song called Monsters in My Basement, and I'm finding that all over the place, but I'm
God
not
darn it.
seeing. See, where's that filters thing? Go to the channel.
Try wargaming or something. I'll look
Another
it up.
basement.
I'll look it up in my thing. Um, yeah, I mentioned it a long time ago there on the counter clipping show, and Ard Wolf was like, "Yep, know that dude," and he was like the only complaint, and he was saying that the guy doesn't post enough or often enough, but they're amazing.
Did he change his name? Maybe.
Hold on, I'll go to and see if I can find it. Maybe he's gone. God, that would suck. I don't think so, because actually, I think I kept him as a playlist.
Well, if you have a playlist, then you'll find out if maybe he changed the name of the channel.
Hold on, I'm
And
gonna
you
go.
still have the videos in your
Yeah,
playlist.
I'm gonna go to my playlists. Pretty darn sure I've got him in there.
There's Making Friends with Monsters. Basement Monsters. Many videos with Monster in My Basement in the title.
Okay. Come on, you.
Missing in Action, I say. I bet they changed their name.
Darn it.
But somewhere you may have, like, if you're subscribed, you could look through your subscriptions.
Exactly.
They didn't totally eliminate their channel. It'd be in there somewhere. You'd be subscribed. It's like, I don't recognize this name, and then maybe you could navigate. Okay. You'd say, aha. Problem is, like, I have.
So here's his
channels.
I found the playlist that I have.
You found the playlist.
I found the playlist, and I will put it in the link. And hopefully you'll be able to get it. There, put it in the comments. Do you see it in the comment? I'll put it in the private chat.
Monster on My Table.
Oh, did I screw up? Yeah, I did.
There we go. All right. So
that person is like jaw-droppingly, stunningly fantastic. I'm like, oh my F. Why can't you be into World War I, you son of a bitch?
Atlantic Wall, Decision Games, tutorials.
And he's got a voice. Just even play it, Mike, and you'll see what I mean. It's like, welcome. I'm just like, oh my God, like stand at attention type of a thing. It's like, holy cow.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything since a year ago.
Yeah. One other channel that I was sad to see disappear is Bantam Battles. Every 2 or 3 months, I unsubscribe to about 10 to 40 channels. Oh God, Charles, man, I don't even want to know how many subscriptions I have. Like you, or just you're doing something nice. Also,
I have 650 channels I'm subscribed to.
But all I do is I just no notifications. I just kill everything. I even was it yesterday? I killed everything for myself as well. So when I go onto YouTube, I don't see shit, which is just absolutely wonderful. Except I do see if there's any notifications for you, Mike, or Charles, or a couple of other people, but that's about it.
I keep notifications from a fair number of gaming sites, but not all of them.
Exactly.
Sometimes I get overwhelmed.
You know how to go and look for them.
Yeah, sort of. If I keep getting notifications, I find myself ignoring them. Then I'll usually stay subscribed but turn off the notifications. But if I find myself glad to see the notification, then I'll keep it. It's like, oh yeah, I'm glad to know they got something new.
Yep.
I'm ready to go. I want to, or as if I'm like, oh my God, I haven't watched, something in 3 months and they're coming out with something every other day. And it's like, nah, I don't want to be reminded that I'm so far behind. So just not watching them enough.
Yeah.
Whereas like with, you and Charles and stuff, once I started watching, I went back and watched all your old stuff, right?
That freaked me right out. Yeah.
But some like I'm not going to go back and watch all of Dan and Artie's old stuff. I mean, I just started watching when I did, and I, maybe went back, a couple weeks worth, but there's no way I'm going to go back years worth. Ugh.
No, it was good for me with I didn't do the Dan and Artie thing, but like I was saying, when I got back into this kind of thing, it was nice to do, like while I'm doing housework or whatever, I just had the headphones on and I'd be listening to the counter clipping show. And it was like going to kindergarten or whatever. I was getting a big smattering of stuff, a welcome to the gaming community. And yeah, that was nice. That way.
I don't subscribe to as many general board gaming channels as I used to. It's like there's no way I'm going to keep up with like the Dice Tower and things like that. So I'll go and watch them when I want to go watch them, but nah, there's no way I'm going to keep up. And there's Charles who subscribes to Dad Jokes. Yeah, there's a couple of music channels I like. There's a guy called Guitaro 5000 where he goes around and he asks people to sing with him for free, and he records it, and he makes a living. People will pay to have him come to their country or whatever and host him, and so he's a pretty popular YouTuber. And I like that Professor of Rock, and then there's Rick Beato who does a lot of music analysis and things like that. But
sure, I sure can do. Hexy, I'll turn my. I can't do that because then you won't hear me. What the hell was that? Did you hear that?
Did Leo try to play one of your games?
I was outside. That was some weird thing. Hold on, I gotta turn the light on and see what's going on. Yeah, I'll pop on my overhead. It's too bad I don't have much detail, but where's my mouse? Yeah, right now, hold on here. Oh, I've got to redo my thing.
I need to figure out how to connect multiple cameras and stuff because I know I've got
fireworks. What the hell? Oh, because it's Labor Day. I guess people are being weird.
Because I got another webcam, so I could.
Yeah, Charles. Yeah, that band was pretty funky that you were showing me there. The one with the two lead guitars. So I'm gonna go back to. Okay, that's not too bad. Just temporary, so I'd rather see us. Or I'd rather see Mike at the table than me. I'll show you what's going on, Hex, here, what I'm up to right now. So it's the Russian turn, November 14th to 17th, 1914. My forceps. So I just finished moving. I reinstituted Brusilov in the 8th Army. He got demoted and ended up effectively just a corps commander for the newly appointed 3rd Army guy over here, Anatoly Rosenshield, because Ruski also got fired or sacked. But due to the fact that the new guy here realizes there's just too much to do and not enough troops, so decided to say, you know what, Brusilov, you can do whatever the hell you want. It's not on the books kind of thing. I've moved Stavka, the headquarters here, from over, darn it, I can't remember the name. It starts with a B, Baronovici or something. They're over here, but I moved them all down to Brest-Litovsk, which makes a lot more sense with all these beautiful double rail. So Rosenshield is here, decided to let Brusilov do whatever the hell he wants. I'm going to try to make a temporary stand over here in Stanislav, but eventually going to move towards Cernowitz, trying to just draw some of the pressure away from the poor Third Army here. And making a stand along the north bank of the Boog. I don't want to get rid of it. No, not going to happen. But it's causing me a bit of grief. I'm absolutely stunned. I was able to move some troops over to here, but the Austro-Germans do have some troops across the Boog, and there's nothing I can do about it right now. Just hold tight and hope for the best. I did move my troops over here with Pleve and the Fifth Army yet again. Not enough. Remember, man, I had a 10th Army over here in Wuj, but they had to surrender, the Flug dude. And now I'm just trying to, which I just did, I railed some, the 151st Infantry Division over here from the 2nd Army Protopopov towards here on Radom, and took those People's Brigades that were under the 9th Army. They're now going to become part of the 4th Army, which they are for von Salza, who's going to move withdraw towards here. I'm going to try to keep Kielce now, but it's not going to be for very long. And then I'm going to move, because the 9th Army is over here too, and over here. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to try to move the 9th Army here north of the Adzanka River, and obviously bring these troops over here, and then over. It's just going to take a bit of time. That's it. I think I did not too bad. So if I wanted to stream other than streaming.
By the way, Chris, I want to give you kudos for pronouncing Brusilov correctly.
Oh.
That most people don't put the accent there in the middle.
Oh, thank you.
Alexeyevich Brusilov.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, yeah, especially coming from you, the Tootsie Roll Owl.
As you can see there in the chat, the accent mark there on the E, the thing that looks like a backwards N, it's not. It's another one of those Cyrillic abuse that people do.
What is he? What the hell? What's Charles going on about? If he wants to, he doesn't want to pop on now. I don't think he wants to do his own stream. Correct? Is that what he's trying to say?
So Charles, you can stream yourself using just YouTube. That's what I did on my live stream.
Yeah, it went well, man.
And you had to wait 24 hours. You have to ask to do it, and then they'll give you the okay in 24 hours unless they think you're a turd and they don't trust you to be online live. They don't give a good excuse why they make you wait an hour, and I'm pretty sure they just don't want someone going, postal and start going live and shooting people or something. But
no,
yeah,
no, that's no. There, that's a bit better. I wish we could still make my map, but well, that's the way it goes. I hope that's okay. Hexy, was that all right? It's just I don't want to. You'd rather see the map, but I mean, I'll pop that back on. It was kind of nice to see Mike as a giant person, kind of thing, rather than just a whatever. Yeah, so that's all I'm doing right now, Hexy. I'm just trying to wiggle some troops down here, and then, but there won't be any attacks for these guys, and then I'll just keep on shifting up. I can't wait to see how it just continues on.
So Charles, if you want more power than just vanilla YouTube, there's OBS, which is Open Broadcasting.
Oh, and by the way,
service. That's free.
Oh, and don't forget, Mike, I can give Charles, I still have a lot more people I can give it to. I can give Charles complete admin access to my StreamYard account, except you get to do everything, Charles, except, and trust me, StreamYard is like for idiots compared to OBS. That's why I've got StreamYard. Just gonna say, why do you think it's there? Would you not agree, Mike, that OBS is a bit more?
I don't know enough about each of them yet. I mean, I used OBS to record all my channel updates for Dan, but in terms of knowing more than starting streaming, or not, it's not even streaming, starting recording, stopping recording, and playing around with the volume sliders and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
but I haven't. Charles, man, I can give you full on. Yep. And yeah, exactly. You same thing, man. And
Yep. The thing about live stream free, it's only 720p, or you can do 1024p with
right,
OBS
fine. And Charles,
free.
the nice thing is with my and same as with what Hexy can do too. Giving you access. I don't have to be around. You can pop on the StreamYard account. You know, I could be at work, and you could use my StreamYard account and go and stream live, and you can also record, as you've seen me do. Use StreamYard to use so I can do this type of nonsense, record it, and then post it to YouTube later. So if I wanted to do some overhead, like my sit down test stuff. So full on, man. You want to go for it? Go for it. Might as well. I mean, it's kind of like, yeah, just like using the car all the time rather than sitting in the garage for 6 days a week, kind of thing. That's the way I'm looking at it. Kind of, we got, we're all right-ish. But I'm doing it again. I have to start thinking of, it's not the now. It's the later. It's the next day.
Speaking of now and laters, I wish I had some candy, but I don't. I don't know. Do they have those in Canada? Now and laters? They're kind of like
Never even heard of them.
taffy fruit chew, kind of like a cross between Starbursts and a
No.
taffy or something.
I do miss Sweet Tots. They
Sweet
were
Tots
very,
or
very
Sweet
tiny,
Tarts?
little jello-y, sugary things called Sweet Tots. They weren't, you know.
I'm gonna need to sign out. I got some stuff to do.
Hey, what do you think, guys? Then I might as well just. I should be smart too, and I'll shut down my laundry and be a smart little cookie. So you're being the parent again, Mike. Thank you so much.
Now, kids, if you haven't finished your homework, you got to do that, and then you need to go to bed. But I'll let you stay up an extra half an hour if your room is clean.
And let's think about doing a private movie viewing with this live stream. Why not, man? Let's have some fun.
We could.
Oh yeah, let's get up to some.
You can set it to an unlisted thing, and we could all do some porn and
for the World War I museum. It's exactly it. I keep watching these things, and I'm like, damn you to hell. The only person I have to talk to is Leo, which is obviously not going to do well.
Good old Dan. He thought he was showing Disney stuff in the public domain, and his thing got blocked, and he had to rip out that cartoon.
So yeah, we'll have some fun stuff. All right. See you later, guys. I'll see you in a few hours.
Ciao, y'all.
Bye.